This is the Diamond Hogs Podcast with Mason Choate and Robert Stewart.
Welcome to the Diamond Hogs Podcast. What a weekend of baseball it was. Arkansas gets their first series sweep of the season, a 4-game sweep over Illinois, Chicago. I mean, it feels like the doubleheader on Thursday was forever ago, Robert. This is my co-host, Robert Stewart, by the way. I mean, most of you should know him by now. I'm Mason Choate, your host. As I was saying, it feels like Thursday was forever ago. You had a snow day in between, and then you had a game Saturday, and then Sunday's game. Wow, what a baseball game.
Yeah, like you said, snow day Friday, you would never guess it based on the field conditions Saturday, and then a little late game heroic Sunday. It kind of reminded you of 2021, didn't it?
It did, and I would say so far for Arkansas, that's game of the year, I would say.
Yeah.
So we will get to all of that, but before we do, I want to remind you that the Diamond Hogs Podcast is available on HitThatLine.com. We're part of the Hit That Line Podcast Network. Hit That Line is just amazing content for Arkansas athletics. Go see them at HitThatLine.com. They're part of ESPN Arkansas. That's who they're powered by. Our podcast is on there. Plenty of others. Trusting the Process with Ty Richardson, the Morning Rush podcast. If you miss any of the shows on ESPN Arkansas, you can go to hitthatline.com to check them out. You can also find Robert's recaps of each game over at hitthatline.com. So if you missed it and you, for some reason, don't want to listen to us recap it, go to hitthatline.com, and Robert will fill you in with his amazing writing. And we're also available on HawgBeat.com. I did some of the stories on HawgBeat this weekend. You should go check out all the content on HawgBeat.com. If you're watching on the YouTube, hello, and subscribe, please. Leave a thumbs up. And if you're a HawgBeat subscriber, great. If you're not, you need to, because HawgBeat gives you the best Arkansas content in the business. I mean, everybody knows Andrew Hutchinson, and everybody knows him for a reason. That's because he's the best at what he does. So go over to HawgBeat.com, subscribe. And if you're a student, they have a deal going on. Let me actually pull it up, because I keep saying what it is, and I don't say what it is. Like, okay, here we go. College students, you get a year of HawgBeat coverage for just $11.95. Request details via email from your school account to andrewhutchinson413@gmail.com. All right. We are brought to you by the First Seat Pub and Grill in Bentonville. Robert, I was talking to my cousin this weekend.
Were you?
And my cousin lives in Bentonville, and he's not a sports guy. Like, he every time he talks to me about sports, he's like, "Oh, you're talking about that sports ball?" Yeah, he's one of those guys. And I was telling him about the podcast, and he was like, "I said we have sponsors," and he's like, "Oh, really? Who?" And I said, "This bar in Bentonville." And he said, "Which one?" Because he's from Bentonville. And I said, "The First Seat." And he's like, "Oh my gosh, dude, I love the First Seat." And this is 100% true, by the way. He's like, "I love the First Seat. We went there for my stepdad's birthday." And he was like, "My stepdad loves it. It's his favorite place in town. The food's awesome." And he's like, "We're going to have to go there for your birthday. Get some drinks. I'll buy you a drink." And I was like, "Sweet, dude. I didn't know that." And so that tells you right there how awesome the First Seat is, that you can mention, hey, First Seat Pub and Grill, and people know who they are because they have great business, great food, great menu over at 106 Southwest 2nd Street in Bentonville, Arkansas. Give them a call, 479-250-9149, or visit them online at theFirstSeatPub.com.
We're also brought to you by Southern Lawn Service, who serves the greater Central Arkansas area. Now, they specialize in landscape maintenance for apartment complex communities and industrial sites, particularly if you need drainage solutions or new installs, landscape remodel, landscape design, hardscapes like retaining walls or paver patios. Southern Lawn Service has you covered. They will do those things for residential and commercial of all sizes. They also sell bulk landscape supplies. So if you need mulch or dirt, gravel, landscape rock, or sod, go give them a call. Their number is 501-514-3463. They're located in Conway at 1 Lee Road. You can also go visit them on site. That is Southern Lawn Service, and we are thankful for their sponsorship.
Very thankful. All right, time to get into it, Robert. Where do you want to start? I mean, we got to start Thursday, I guess.
Probably. It makes sense to go in sequential order.
It would. It would be weird if we worked backwards from Sunday to Thursday.
I mean, the biggest news, we're recording this Sunday afternoon. We're still sort of buzzing from that
I know. That's
Lanzilli walk-off home run.
That's the weird thing. That's why I want to start with Sunday. But let's start with Thursday. So Arkansas wins the first game. So there's a doubleheader on Thursday. Arkansas wins the first game 12-4. Connor Nolan goes 6 2/3. I mean, looked great until he got into the 7th.
Yep, leadoff double in the 7th, and he had a couple of outs right after that, a ground out and a strikeout, kept the runner at second the whole time, and then he hit a batter, and then it really started to fall apart. Gave up a pair of doubles. Let's see, yeah, he had a shutout working through 6 2/3, but then 3 doubles in the 7th cost him, but still came away with a quality start. So.
He did. It's just one of those things where, the stat line looked beautiful.
It did.
And,
it looks less beautiful now, but...
It looks less beautiful, but you look at it, 6 2/3, 4 hits, 3 runs, all earned, but only 2 walks and 11 strikeouts. 11
strikeouts to 2 walks, you'll take that.
Connor Nolan he strikes people out, man.
Threw 100 pitches, too, didn't he?
He did. I think he went out on the 100th pitch. So
he was not the only guy to do that. Hagen Smith did that as well.
No, Connor Nolan, 97 pitches.
But the pitch count got messed up, remember?
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was 100. I kept it.
We had a lot of scoring issues this weekend.
Yes, we did.
Okay. So, but if you look back at that game, I mean, Caden Wallace, 3 for 5, but this was another one of those games where Michael Turner, 2 for 4, 3 RBI. I mean, Michael Turner and Caden Wallace combined for 6 of Arkansas's runs. You add in Brady Slavens, that's 9 runs right there.
Yeah. If you just look 1 through 6 at this order, there are 5 of those guys who had 2 or more hits. Caden Wallace, 3 for 5. Michael Turner, 2 for 4. Chris Lanzilli, 2 for 3. Brady Slavens, 2 for 4. Jalen Battles, 2 for 4. I feel like Jalen Battles is having a really good year, but nobody's talking about it because there are so many other powerful bats in this lineup.
It's so quiet. Like, that's one of those things that we talked about preseason was this team has so many great bats, you don't know who to choose. And so that then turns into you forgetting about guys like Jalen Battles.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what happens. But, I mean, you're right. 2 for 4, 2 RBI. I mean, you talked about the top 6. I mean, all of the RBIs, runs batted in on the first game Thursday came from the top 6 batters in the order. And, I mean, really, you could say 5 of the top 6 because Robert Moore didn't have any. Rough weekend for Robert Moore.
Yeah, he's been struggling, it seems like, for a while now. 2 for 15 on the weekend. He was 3 for 13 the week before. And he was 3 for to start the back half of the doubleheader against Southeastern Louisiana. But 0 for going into it. So, I don't know. That was one of the things Van Horn said, we got to get Robert going.
Yeah.
He's hitting high up in the order. He's been everywhere, 2, 3, 4, and he can't really seem to find his place yet.
No. Well, he's one of those guys that you can't take out of the lineup, though. He's going to be in the lineup.
But, maybe keep shuffling until you find a comfortable spot for him.
Well, they found a comfortable spot for Caden Wallace as leadoff, that's for sure.
Yeah, check this out. On the weekend, 6 for 18, 6 runs scored, 3 home runs, 13 RBI.
2 of the home runs were grand slams.
And the other was a 3-run shot.
Yeah. So, great weekend for Caden Wallace. But going back to that first game on Thursday, I mean, it's hard because we're not going to sit here and recap how every game went. But
the long ball was working. I mean, that's the story of the weekend. They had 9 home runs.
Yeah.
3 of them came in that first game, Thursday. Jalen Battles started it off. Is that true? Yes. With a 2-run shot. You had a solo shot to lead off the 8th, courtesy of Brady Slavens, and then Caden Wallace hit that 3-run shot I was talking about to get it up to 12-4.
I think last
12-3.
I think last thing I want to add though for that first game on Thursday is you got to see Jake Faherty and Miller Plyman come in there in the 9th inning. 8th inning. No, top of the ninth.
Yeah, Evan Taylor started that 9th inning, walked a pair, was charged with a run, but yes, you got to see Jake Faherty make his debut and Miller Plyman probably second or third appearance. I mean, I remarked at the start of the 4th game that they've thrown more pitchers than used position players in the series through 3 games. So
yeah,
you got to see a lot of guys out of the bullpen this week.
And I mean, UIC was not a great hitting team.
No, I mean, we talked about it going in. Rosario was their only guy hitting above 300, and
Thursday he didn't have a hit in the first game.
He was 0 for 4. He was 1 for 3. He was 0 for 2, and he was 1 for 3. So he had 2 hits on the weekend.
He dropped under 300 for sure.
Yeah, so, I know I saw that on the scoreboard.
So, yeah, I mean, UIC, a bad hitting team. A lot of people saying, their coach wasn't a great coach either, just the way that they were doing some things. Overall, no offense to UIC, but they were no match for Arkansas. So, go ahead.
Made it interesting on Sunday, but
yeah, you
figure you're going to get one of those a weekend, no matter who the opponent is.
Second game on Thursday, Arkansas wins 5-4. This was kind of a crappy game, but you look at it, Peyton Stovall didn't start. He comes in to pinch hit for Dylan Leach, and I mean, I'd say Peyton Stovall was the most important aspect of that game, at least at the plate for Arkansas.
Without a doubt. I don't think you get that sort of production from Dylan Leach, and production, I mean 2 RBI hits in the middle and late innings. You may recall that they wanted to pinch hit Stovall with 2 outs in the 4th. That's how early they pulled the plug on Leach in the second half of a doubleheader. So they made Michael Turner go back and catch 5 more innings after he caught the first 9. So tough day for Dylan Leach. Tough season for Dylan Leach, honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say, it's not just the day.
It's not just the day. But Peyton Stovall, I mean, he hit it right back up to the pitcher. It was a 1-2-3 double play. So that was, I mean, it was not the start Stovall needed either. But
no, was that the play where he was running to first and just kind of let up?
I think, was it Tom who was like, he freaking slowed down?
Yeah, and
I think that was.
I think Dave said something about it in the press conference too. He's like, you got to run through it. And Peyton Stovall didn't mention it in the press conference as well. He was like, that was my fault. I shouldn't have done that. I should have ran through the base. And then, I mean, he made up for it.
Well, yeah, he did. He got himself an RBI knock with 2 outs, by the way, in the 6th inning. That cut it to 3-1. That was their first run. Jeez, you're right. It was an ugly game. They had the starting pitcher. By my count, there was one discrepancy. It was either a walk or a hit by pitch. But by my count, Tyler Ingram, the UIC starter, in 4 1/3 innings, walked 8 batters. He walked 8 batters, and the Hogs had 1 hit through 5 innings and no runs.
Yeah.
They left a total of 11 men on base in the game, but they were struggling early and often, really. They just couldn't get those walks across. Fielders' choices, double plays, flat-out inability to hit, but Peyton Stovall sort of broke the dam loose, I guess, and then things really turned around in the 8th inning. You had a 4-run rally to take the lead.
Yeah. Another story from this game, though, was Austin Ledbetter gets the start.
Right.
He goes 3 innings, gives up 2 hits, just 1 earned run. Then you see Heston Toll, Cole Ramage comes in, goes 3 1/3, gives up 2 runs himself. And then Nick Griffin and Brady Tygart, they come in, and this was a bullpen type day. You knew it was going to be that way going into it.
Right. I mean, we knew that Ledbetter was going to get that start, and we knew that he wasn't expected to go very long. And I think he worked pretty effectively for the 3 innings that he got. I said maybe you'd like to see him go more than 8 outs or whatever he got in that first. He got 9 outs, so not too much more. But that, I don't think that's a point of worry at all. I think he did what they asked him to do, and turned it over to the bullpen, and they didn't struggle too much. I mean, Heston Toll gave up a couple of doubles, got pulled before he could finish an inning. That wasn't his best outing. Cole Ramage gave up a pair, but he also worked parts of 4 innings. So I think at that point his job was just to go out there and eat up innings and save some guys for the weekend. So job well done. And like I said earlier, it reminds you a little bit of the 2021 team. The ability to score in bunches late and come back. Like that was a key aspect of the 2021 Razorbacks that never lost a series.
Yeah, I mean you look at it. The game 1 Thursday, they scored 11 runs across the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings. And then you look at
out of their 12 runs total.
Yeah, you look at game 2, 4 in the 8th. And then you look at game
1 in the 6th. So yeah, I mean, they start slow, but they figure it out.
And it was the same thing Sunday as well.
And we heard Caden Wallace say this, like I think it was Matt Jones who asked, how does this team remind you of last year at all? And he said, I think we're tougher. I think we're tougher than last year's team. And
yeah.
Maybe that's just player talk, trying to hype your current guys up, but maybe he has a point.
Maybe he does. Before we get to our recap of Saturday's game, gonna do an ad read. Don't forget First Seat Pub and Grill in Bentonville, Arkansas. They got events going on here and there, but the menu is just awesome. You can order online. You can check out the menu online, and then if you want to go see them, they've got great hours, Monday through Wednesday, 11 a.m., 11 p.m., then Thursday through Saturday, you're getting your great hours, 11 a.m. to 1 a.m. So, I mean, this weekend, it's going to be March Madness. Arkansas plays Thursday against Vermont. So if you want to go watch a game somewhere, go to the First Seat Pub and Grill. You can get some great food, get you a brew while you're trying to watch the game, and you'll also have great service. So you can go there, watch it with your friends, get you some great food, get you some of those cheese curds, some of the burgers. I'm trying to find the sandwich that I can't remember what it was called. There's a really good sandwich, a pork, some kind of pork sandwich that they got that's supposed to be really good. I haven't had it yet, but go see them at 106 Southwest 2nd Street in Bentonville, Arkansas, or call them 479-250-9149.
We're also brought to you by Southern Lawn Service, and they serve the greater Central Arkansas area, specializing in landscape maintenance for apartment complex communities and industrial sites. If you need drainage solutions, new installs, landscape remodel, landscape design, hardscapes such as retaining walls or paver patios, give Southern Lawn Service a call. Now, if you also need bulk landscape supplies like mulch or dirt or gravel, landscape rock or sod, you can also call or go see Southern Lawn Service on site. They're at 1 Lee Road in Conway. Go visit them or call them up. Their number is 501-514-3463. That's Southern Lawn Service. And if you need any sort of project for residential or commercial, call them, see them. Go do your business with Southern Lawn Service.
All right. Saturday's game, this was a good one for Arkansas. This was one of those games. It was like the Omaha midweek game where you just needed this game.
It's a feel-good game.
It's a feel-good game, 10-1 win. So let's start in the third inning. Arkansas scores 4 in the third. Oh, by the way, Hagen Smith started this game. 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 1 run, 1 earned. Struck out 8, walked 3. Another great outing by Hagen Smith.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the game. We haven't seen any in-between yet from Hagen Smith. There's been the quality starts, and there's been the dud against Stanford at Round Rock. Not quite a quality start, but 1 earned in 5 innings. You take that every day of the week.
You would. And so, I like I said, third inning, 4 runs. Break it down for us, Robert.
Third inning, 4 runs. It all starts with Caden Wallace putting the ball in play, reaching on an error by the third baseman. What did I say before the season? You can't give this team free outs. Michael Turner draws a walk. Chris Lanzilli puts his first Razorback home run into the hog pen. 3-0 Arkansas lead, and Brady Slavens goes back-to-back. That was an opposite field shot, if I recall correctly. Lanzilli was like 418 feet. It was a mammoth shot.
So we're starting to see the Chris Lanzilli that we expected coming into the year.
Yes, we are.
The guy from Wake Forest that was a power hitter. I mean, one of their program leading guys in home runs over at Wake Forest. He comes to Arkansas. We hadn't seen it yet. Like, I asked Dave Van Horn this weekend, what do you think of Chris? He wasn't getting a whole lot of hits earlier on in the year, but you look at him now, and he's putting the ball in play. He's hitting with power. I think that was his first home run as a Hog.
Yes, it was.
And so I asked him, just what do you think of Chris? And he's like, I think he's been hitting the ball well all year, but now he's starting to finally see it great.
Yeah,
And
he is. And to your point about seeing it well, on the weekend he walked 3 times. He struck out only twice. That's always a great sign when you have as many or more walks than strikeouts. Talked about Caden Wallace having a great weekend, 6 hits on the weekend. So did Chris Lanzilli, and he did it in way fewer at-bats, too. He was 6 for 13, so almost 500. Drove in 6 runs, scored 3 times, 3 singles, a double, and 2 taters. Obviously, the one Sunday to walk it off.
Slamzilli.
Slamzilli.
That's what people are calling him.
Mm-hmm.
Slamzilli.
Yeah, so he had that 3-run shot Saturday, followed up by Brady Slavin's second home run in as many, no, not in as many games, but of the weekend.
I mean, good for Brady Slavens.
Yes.
We
talked
did.
about how
he's one of the guys that had to pick it up. You were the one.
I called it, right?
Yeah.
He went 4 for 18, so, I mean, not the best average. It's under 250, but he got himself a handful of hits, 2 of which were home runs, and drove in 4, scored 3 times. So.
And I said Peyton Stovall. He goes 7 for 14.
7 hits. He was 500 on the weekend. How about that?
2 RBIs, 6 of which his hits were singles, but that's fine. He had the double and scored 4 runs.
We heard Dave say that it just sounds like he's having a little bit more fun out there, you know?
He is. Like, you could tell, especially in Sunday's game. Was Sunday's game where he had the double?
Yes.
And I saw them clipping the GIF, the athletics people. They were clipping the GIF where he like pops up off second and he's just like yelling because he's so excited. And so you're starting to see it. Like, not only are you seeing the success at the plate, he's great over at first, but he's starting to enjoy it.
Right.
And be comfortable.
Right. And I also want to talk about that play he made on Saturday. It went down as an infield single to first. This was in the second inning. You remember this when he slid under the tag?
Yeah, that was a good play.
That was slick.
That was
really slick. That's baseball IQ right there. I think we saw Andrew Hutchinson tweet about, this is the only time it's acceptable to slide into first base.
Yeah.
That was really heads up.
And you're starting to see the guy that was supposed to be a first round pick. We talked about it. Where's this guy who was the first round pick? And I think it's pretty obvious. Like, yes, he's a freshman. He had to figure it out. That's how it works. And you got to be really excited that he's starting to hit his groove right here with Kentucky coming to town next weekend.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I was looking at the board maybe right before he hit the double on Sunday, and I was like, wow, look at him. He's hitting 250. He's got a respectable average now.
Yeah.
Just take some time.
So back to Saturday's game though. So Arkansas goes hitless in the 4th and the 5th. Maybe not hitless, scoreless in the 4th and the 5th, and then they score 5 more in the 6th to basically put a bow on it.
Yep, hit around in the 6th. 3 singles at the bottom of the order. Thank you to Peyton Stovall, Max Solis, who got a start on Saturday. That was interesting.
Max Solis.
And Zach Gregory with was that a bunt hit?
I think it was a bunt single.
I have it scored as a single to the pitcher, so wouldn't be surprised if it was a bunt. So bases loaded, nobody out. Caden Wallace, first of 2 grand slams on the weekend.
Yes, that was great to see. So we were talking about it. When was the last grand slam for Arkansas?
There was one that Cullen Smith hit in the blowout in the Super Regional against NC State, and there was one in mid-May against Arkansas State that Wallace hit.
The last regular season grand slam for Arkansas was May 11th from Caden Wallace.
I know it was against it was midweek against Arkansas.
It was against Arkansas State. It was just interesting that the last regular season grand slam was from Caden Wallace.
So he now has the last 3.
Yeah, and jokingly when he hit the grand slam Sunday, Matt Jones goes, "Hey, anybody know when the last time a grand slam was hit?" And sure enough, it was yesterday. Thanks, Matt.
Yes. So big grand slam really broke the game open there for Caden Wallace. I think it was a 2-0 fastball that he just launched into the hog pen. And then Michael Turner came up 2 batters later. He hit his 3rd home run of the year, right?
Yeah.
Tied battles for the team lead, I believe. So that made it 9-1 after Smith gave up a solo shot in the 5th inning. And then one more run in the 8th for the Hogs, courtesy of an opposite field single from Michael Turner, your boy.
Michael Turner time. He's not my boy. People are saying that I run the Turner Time fan account. I do not. I promise you, I don't run that fan account. I need to like DM the person that does though, so I can confirm that it's not me. But it's not me. I cover this team neutrally. I guess I favor Michael Turner because he came on our show. So
Respectable.
It's the same way that every time Zebulon Vermillion comes out, I think that if Zebulon Vermillion does good, it's great for our brand.
Of course.
Is that rude?
No.
I'm not like using the players because I'm not saying, hey, go out and hit a home run, Michael Turner.
Well, also they don't have to listen to you even.
No, they don't. But I also like, of course, I'm wanting the players that come on our show to do better.
Sure.
Because no offense to the other players, I need to just stop talking. Okay, are we still on Saturday?
Yes, nice piece of hitting by Michael Turner to cap it off. Speaking of Zebulon Vermillion, let's get into the relief here a little bit.
Yeah.
4 innings of shutout relief, 2 of which came from former Diamond Hogs podcast guest Zebulon Vermillion. Struck out 3, walked 1, no hits in those 6th and 7th innings there. Elijah Trest tossed a scoreless inning as well, and so did Evan Gray to finish it out. Like I said, no hits for all 3 of those guys, and Hagen Smith punched out 8 on the day in 5 innings, and those 3 guys in relief in 4 punched out 7. So, tough day for the Flames making contact.
Yeah. But good day for Arkansas making contact, and good day for the Arkansas bullpen.
Yes.
That was one of the things that writing my key takeaway stories over at HawgBeat.com, go check it out. I wanted to put Sunday, like, bullpen still needs some work because Ramage came in, gave up some runs. Or I guess he only gave up 1, but he inherited 5. And so I wanted to put that, but then you look at Saturday's game, and it's like the bullpen's fine. Yeah. Also, UIC is a really bad team.
Yeah. And we can talk a little bit more about Cole Ramage too, because Dave Van Horn kind of shut me down in the press conference.
Yeah, Robert was an idiot.
I don't know about that. I think it was a fair question. I mean, nothing I said was wrong. I prefaced it with he's given up a lot of inherited runners.
Robert said, "Hey Dave, Cole Ramage sucks. What are your thoughts?"
All right, cool.
I thought about asking that question about Braden Webb. Hey Dave, what's going on with Braden Webb? He just sucks. Still doesn't have a hit. Big O for 20. Anyway, back to Ramage. So I said he's given up a lot of inherited runs recently, which is true. And I said, what have you seen from him? And he went to bat for his 6-year senior, right? Like we heard him say, you may recall in Sunday's game there were some close calls as far as balls and strikes go that did not go the Razorbacks' way. Dave Van Horn was jawing at the home plate umpire quite a bit, and he didn't really get too much into it. He made a reference in his answer, but he was not going to be critical of the umpires with the media. Plays got to get made behind him. Some calls, other days maybe go their way, and it's not an issue. But he said he's not going to rag on Ramage if that's what you want me to do. Yeah.
And I gave him a thumbs up. I was like, I don't need you to do that. I just want to know what you saw.
You know what?
The question.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of when Nick Saban responded to that question after the game. I'm not going to, so quit asking. That's what you get, Robert, for asking stupid questions.
That wasn't a stupid question. And yes, you're right. That was a more subtle version of that.
Yeah. Okay. Before we move on to Sunday's game, it's a big one. We're going to talk about it, but I need to remind you that we are brought to you by the First Seat Pub and Grill. They are the presenting sponsor of the Diamond Hogs podcast. Now, I've mentioned that they have a breakfast brunch menu, Robert.
Mm-hmm.
And this breakfast brunch menu is it's just wonderful. They have omelets, plenty of omelets if you want omelets. I'm a big omelet guy. They got chicken and waffles. They got pancakes. Excuse me.
Doing all right over there?
Yeah, they got biscuits and gravy. They got Monte Cristos. I mean, they got it. So if you think about anywhere you're going to go and you're going to get a breakfast, you could go to your normal breakfast place. It's not going to name any business names. Or you could go to the First Seat Pub and Grill, and you can get quality service, and you can get high quality food, high quality service, high quality food at the First Seat Pub and Grill, and it's in Bentonville, 106 Southwest 2nd Street, Bentonville, Arkansas. They got the Saturday breakfast and the Sunday brunch going, so go see them. And like we mentioned earlier, if you want to watch the Razorback game, the Razorback basketball game against Vermont, and then, of course, Arkansas plays Kentucky this weekend. So if you're coming up to town or you can't make it down to Baum Walker, go to the First Seat Pub and Grill. If you don't have tickets, go to the First Seat Pub and Grill. They'll have the game on TV, I can guarantee you. So go see them or call them 479-250-9149.
You mentioned high-quality service a minute ago, and that is exactly what you'll get at Southern Lawn Service. They serve the greater central Arkansas area, specializing in landscape maintenance for apartment complex communities and industrial sites. If you need drainage solutions, new installs, landscape remodel, landscape design, or hardscapes such as retaining walls or paver patios or anything like that, go see Southern Lawn Service. If you need bulk landscape supplies such as mulch, dirt, gravel, landscape rock, or sod, they also have you covered. They're located at 1 Lee Road in Conway, or you can call them on the phone at 501-514-3463.
All right, Sunday's game, Robert. What a game. What a game. What a game.
What a game indeed.
So you look at it, and everything's going great. You know, Jackson Wiggins got in a little bit of trouble in the first. He let the leadoff batter on in each of his 4 innings. He didn't pitch 4 innings.
Three of the 4 innings he started.
3 of the 4 innings he started. Okay.
Got a 1-2-3 in the third.
It got a 1-2-3 in the third, and then Arkansas scores 2 runs in the bottom of the third, so they're up 2-0. You're feeling great, and boom, everything goes to crap. Wiggins just can't locate anything. Walks 3 of the first 4, and I believe he had a wild pitch in there maybe, and that's what scored a run.
Yeah, there was a wild pitch to score a run, that's right. There was a fielder's choice. I don't have a number to another number, so I assume that was the one where they threw it home, but they didn't get the out.
Yeah. Wiggins got the ball, tossed it up to Turner, but they didn't call him out. He was safe. And so Wiggins then, what else happened?
He hit a batter, and then that was the 9-hitter. He hit the 9-hitter, and Van Horn pulled the plug. Cole Ramage came in, and like I said, gave up some more inherited runners.
5 to be exact.
Well,
no, 4.
He only inherited 3.
No, I thought
gave up one of his own.
No, I thought he gave up 4 runs. Inherited 4?
He was charged. You can only inherit 3.
Yeah.
Bases loaded.
Right.
So he struck out the first batter he faced, and then he issued a walk. So that scored 1, and then he gave up a double, which scored the other 2 of Wiggins' runners.
Oh, yeah.
And then the one guy he walked.
That double was bad.
Yeah, you were talking about, it'd be awful right here, a grand slam.
Yeah, and then we get a bases clearing double. Yeah,
the next worst thing happens.
Yeah, so that was really bad.
So 6 hits.
Yeah,
6 runs
on 1 hit. 6 runs on 1 hit. That was really bad. And then Arkansas doesn't do anything about it until the 7th.
Yeah, the Hogs were really struggling at the plate through better part of 7 innings. Chris Torres, the UIC starter, had a heck of a day. He ended up going 6 1/3, gave up 8 hits, 4 runs, 3 earned, walked 1, and struck out 4. But if you look at the first 6 innings, the Hogs only had multiple hits in any given inning twice. And all 4 of those hits were in infield singles.
They didn't have an extra base hit until the 7th inning.
They didn't move a base runner more than 90 feet on one play until the 7th inning.
Yeah. The 7th, you look at it, Arkansas scores 2 runs in the 7th to cut it to a 6-4 ball game. And David Horn said after the game, those 2 runs were huge for us.
They were. And they were sac flies. Caden Wallace came up with, runners on the corners.
Yeah, he had Webb and Gregory on the corners.
Scored Webb, right? And then Moore doubled. That was big for him to get an extra base hit. So you had 2 more runners in scoring position, and then this pop fly play for Michael Turner. It went down.
Here we go.
Well, you're right.
Everybody get ready for the nerd talk from Robert.
Well, Michael Turner can thank me for adding 8 points to his batting average here.
I appreciate that on behalf of Michael Turner, but you were stuck on this for way too long.
Well, okay, it was annoying. Ultimately, we'll save the story. Ultimately, it goes down as a sacrifice fly to the second baseman, which is rare. So the argument was that Gregory was always tagging up from third, but he had to make a read because he couldn't tell if it was going to drop. So he went back to the base and then couldn't really tell which happened first. Either the second baseman threw it to second or Gregory took off from home. But regardless, Gregory scores. Turner gets credit for a sac fly. It doesn't go down as an at-bat. And long story short, you're welcome. There's
Turner.
8 points. He's hitting over 400 because of me.
Yes.
I got the scoring changed.
Because of you, Michael Turner's hitting over 400.
Yes.
You're doing the work there.
I am.
Okay.
Well, it's the difference between 396 and 404.
That's a big difference.
It is.
It is. Okay. Well, you're welcome, Michael Turner. Thank you, Diamond Hawks Podcast, on behalf of Michael Turner.
There you go.
I probably shouldn't be speaking on behalf of Michael Turner. But I don't know. Maybe I could. Anyways, so Arkansas then comes up in the 8th, and you get the grand salami. Back-to-back days from Caden Wallace, and that was huge. It was the go-ahead. They were then up 8-6, and the lead was written.
Yeah.
It was all but over. Mm-hmm. And then UIC comes up and scores 2 runs. How did it happen in the 9th?
Yeah, that was tough. I want to hit on the grand slam real quick. I think I remember once the pitcher Matt Zahora walked Zach Gregory in the 9-hole. The pitching coach or the manager, I'm not sure who, came out for a mound visit, right? And then they didn't make a pitching change, walked back, and then the first pitch after that was I didn't see it, but I assume it was a hanging fastball, and Caden Wallace torched it into the hog pen.
Yep.
Probably not what you were hoping for on that mound visit. Okay, 9th inning. Brady Tigert comes out for his 3rd inning of work. He's got 2 scoreless under his belt at this point, giving up 2 hits. Walks the leadoff man. That's always trouble. Walks the leadoff man, gets a strikeout, single to center field, and then things go awry on a throwing error by Zach Gregory that somehow squeaks into the camera well or something like that. Allows a run to score, and then there's another single by Big Body Breck, as the Flames dugout was calling him. Breck Nowick, the Flames' third baseman, tied it up with a single to right, and that was the end of Tigert's day. So had an opportunity to get the win there, couldn't pull it off. Mark Adamiak, saw him for the first time that weekend and came in, issued a walk, but a couple of flyouts, and game still tied.
Yeah, and so it seemed like Dave Van Horn wasn't really worried about it, kind of what he told us going into the bottom of the 9th. He's just like, well, let's just get some hits and win this game. Sure enough, Turner time comes up, double, leadoff double. No, just easy. He makes it look easy.
He does.
And then, of course, Lanzilli comes up, has a 1-2 count. I mean, one of the strikes, he swung at it. I mean, it was high and inside, and he was swinging hard, and it just wasn't there. And then
hanging breaking ball. See you later.
Smashes the 2-run homer, walk-off, dugout clears, Arkansas wins the game. And there it goes. So Arkansas wins 10-8, walk-off win. I can't focus right now. Tom Brady is unretired.
Are you for real?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
sorry.
We probably should have seen that coming. Anyway, let's read Michael Turner's stat line, because we've hit on Wallace, Lanzilli, and Stovall, who have had at least 6 hits. Turner led the team with 8. He went 8 for 15, 7 runs batted in, 4 scored, 6 singles, 1 double, a home run. Also, like Lanzilli, walked more times than he struck out.
Turner time, dude. He's the MVP of the team so far.
It's hard to argue otherwise.
Your only other argument is Caden Wallace, I would say. at least at the plate.
Yeah. Well, I think he's got to be your new leadoff hitter.
Kane Walls, yeah, for sure.
After going 6 from 18 from that spot in 4 games.
Okay.
And then one more nugget I noticed from the weekend. We talked about coming in, Jalen Battles and Brady Slavens were tied for the team lead in strikeouts.
Mm-hmm.
You know who the only guy not to strike out this weekend was?
Who's that?
Jalen Battles.
Wow. How many times did Slavin strike out this weekend again?
4. That led the team, tied with Gregory. But Gregory also drew 4 walks, so we'll forgive him.
Gregory, dude, I got to tweet out that Moneyball gift so much this weekend.
You did. He scored 8 times.
He scored 8 times. Man, your preseason prediction is doing great.
I have a very big brain. What can I say?
He scored 8 times. Wallace was the second highest with 6, and then nobody else had more than 5. So, yeah. I mean, Arkansas did a lot better with runners in scoring position this weekend.
Yeah. Thursday, they were 6 for 10. So, I mean, you get multiple hits in any given game. That's pretty good. But going over 500, forget about it. That was the 12-run game, right, that they scored?
What?
They scored 12 in the first game, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 6 for 10. That makes sense. Second half of the doubleheader and Saturday, both times they were 4 for 13 with runners in scoring position and 1 for 5 with 2 outs and runners in scoring position. And then 3 for 8 Sunday, which is 375, quick math. So pretty solid showing.
Yep. I still, this Tom Brady thing's bothering me. I'm sorry. I know it's a baseball podcast.
Is he still under contract with the Bucks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Before we get to our weekend MVPs, I want to remind you that we are brought to you by the First Seat Pub and Grill in Bentonville, Arkansas. Go see them. As we mentioned last week, they have a cool backstory. You can probably ask them about it. Also, I mean, just wonderful food, great drinks. I feel uncomfortable talking about the drinks because I'm not 21. Close enough. Robert, you're turning 21 soon, Tuesday. You want to tell people your Cash App or something? Maybe they can send you some cash.
Come see me in the Hog Pen.
Robert will be in the Hog Pen on Tuesday against Grambling. Go see him. Maybe buy him a drink.
Sounds good to me.
Okay. Happy early birthday to you, Robert. I heard for the First Seat Pub and Grill, to go back to the ad, I heard that their pork rinds are amazing. Like, they come out like crackling hot. I've never had pork rinds like fresh, hot like that. So we might need to go try them. They also have salt and pepper or Cajun spice that you can get on the pork rinds. So go try that at 106 Southwest 2nd Street in Bentonville, Arkansas, or call them 479-250-9149.
And don't forget about our friends in Central Arkansas, Southern Lawn Service. They specialize in landscape maintenance for apartment complex communities and industrial sites. If you need drainage solutions, new installs, landscape remodel, landscape design, or hardscapes such as retaining walls or paver patios, Southern Lawn Service has you covered. They've also got bulk landscape supplies like mulch, dirt, gravel, landscape rock, and sod. All of those things can be found at One Lee Road in Conway, Arkansas. Give them a call also at 501-514-3463. That's Southern Lawn Service, and they are specializing in landscape projects for residential and commercial of all sizes.
All right, let's wrap this up with our weekend MVPs. Our weekend MVPs are brought to you by the Encore Group. When it comes to selling your home, you need representation that will knock it out of the park. Matt Grissom and the Encore Group at RE/MAX Elite will go to bat for you. You know who else knocked it out of the park? A lot of Razorbacks this weekend. Caden Wallace and Chris Lanzilli, to be specific, because they're on my mind right now, Sunday. But back to the Encore Group. With 14 years of experience and experts at marketing and negotiating, the Encore Group will get you the most amount of money for your home in the shortest amount of time. Don't risk it when it comes to selling real estate in Arkansas. For more information, visit sellingarkansas.com. It has changed, sellingarkansas.com, and it's no longer the Grissom team as well. It's the Encore Group. So the Encore Group and sellingarkansas.com. Big thanks to them, Matt Grissom and his group. I've heard great things about him. I've heard he's a great guy. So we need to get hooked up with him at some point. But very thankful for their business, and go visit them if you're trying to sell your home in Central Arkansas. Okay, weekend MVPs brought to you by the Encore Group. We've been thinking about getting like a little trophy, or we thought we would write a card to the guys like, congratulations on your weekend MVP, in like blue crayon. You think that would be a good idea?
I think it'd be funny. Yes, it's got Benchwarmers vibes.
It does, but I am 12. You know.
Yes.
Okay. I think it's. I mean, you got to go Caden Wallace at the plate.
Yeah.
We usually have to pick a different person, but we're gonna go Caden Wallace as a duo. Both of us, Caden Wallace.
Yeah.
Is that fair?
Yeah.
He 13 RBI.
Yeah.
2 grand slams.
The numbers speak for themselves. Honorable mentions go to Michael Turner and Chris Lanzilli.
Oh yeah. Michael Turner for sure. Turner time and Lanzilli.
The transfers, man, they're making it happen.
Yep. I mean, that's pretty basic, though. 6 for 18 for Wallace, 13 RBI, 6 runs, 3 home runs.
I don't know how you can argue otherwise.
Lanzilli had 2 home runs. Slavens had 2 home runs. I think Lanzilli, great weekend, 6 RBI. So, yeah, honorable mention, runner-up. Good job, Chris Lanzilli. So, here we go. Let's talk about on the mound, though. Have you picked a guy yet?
Short answer would be Connor Noland.
Yeah.
Just having gone the longest. I honestly, Brady Tiger was pretty good before he hit the wall Sunday. Let's see, 1 1/3 to close it out. Thursday, back half of the doubleheader, he ended up getting the win because he was the pitcher in the 8th inning when they scored those 4 runs to go ahead. He was on pace to do the same thing after the Wallace grand slam. Maybe just threw a few too many pitches. But yeah, if you can figure out how to use him in moderation, I think he's going to be an important piece.
And they need a closer. I think he could be that guy. Because it was supposed to be Nick Griffin, but that's not going to happen.
We only saw Griffin once this weekend, right?
Yeah, he came in, he pitched 2/3 of an inning, walked 2 batters, and hit one with a pitch.
Hit another, and then gave way to Brady Tiger.
Yeah. So I'd be okay with Tiger being the closer. I'm going to go with Hagen Smith. I love watching Hagen Smith pitch.
He's so fast.
That's the best part about him.
Granted, the one thing he struggled with Saturday was pitch count. I mean, he threw an average of 20 pitches, anywhere between 18 and 22. He was pretty symmetrical, honestly.
Yeah.
But yeah, he had some long innings, and so he wasn't able to go as long as perhaps you're used to seeing him go. But at the same time, he was pretty efficient. I mean, did give up 3 walks and 4 hits, but also struck out 8. And I mean, the only blemish on his record was a solo shot. So
yeah,
solo shots won't hurt you.
No, that's one of those things where it's like everything was great other than one pitch, and you can live with that. So unless it's a grand slam that loses the game. So
I mean, you want to see him get that pitch count down next week against Kentucky, but other than that, I think his first 4 weeks have been beyond expectations.
Well, those are our weekend MVPs: Caden Wallace, Connor Nolan, and Hagen Smith. Honorable mentions: Michael Turner, Chris Lanzilli. And that is brought to you by the Encore Group. Thank you to the Encore Group and Matt Grissom and his group over there in Central Arkansas. So we're going to wrap it up. Arkansas, they'll play Grambling Tuesday, Wednesday, 6:30 p.m. Tuesday, 4 p.m. Wednesday. Both of those on the SEC Network Plus. And then you get Kentucky coming to town on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, SEC opening weekend. So exciting stuff.
Yep. Coverage will be light for the Grambling games.
Oh yeah, we need to mention our plans.
Coverage will be light for the midweek games, so don't expect too much from us. Need to take a little time off, and then Mason, you will be out of town next weekend.
I will be. I'm trusting you with the podcast.
All right.
I got to show you the ropes. I do all the editing for those of you.
He's a broadcast guy. I'm a print guy.
Yeah, so I got to teach Robert how to do it.
I'll figure it out.
You'll figure it out, and
with your help, of course.
With my help, and Pete D'Alessandro.
That's confirmed. Yes,
he will be filling in for myself.
For those of you who don't know, he is over at HawgBeat.com. Is also working for the Arkansas Traveler now. We are his editors there. We're happy to have him along. Very, very brilliant baseball mind, and I'm looking forward to what he has to say next week.
All right. So yeah, just remember, light coverage. It's going to be spring break. Throw us a bone. And then also realize that Robert's birthday is Tuesday. Mine is
the following Tuesday.
Mine is the following Tuesday. Both of those are our 21st birthdays. So just chill out a little bit.
We'll be celebrating accordingly.
Yeah. So excited about that. And anyways, thank you everybody for listening to the Diamond Hogs podcast, and we will talk to you on Friday.
You've been listening to the Diamond Hogs podcast. Follow the guys on Twitter at Choate Mason and at drstew32.